everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I thought I would give you a look at Lori Holt's new book. It's called Scrappiness is Happiness. I ordered it from Fat Quarter Shop. I did pre-order it and got it, and I'm looking at the website now and it's out of stock, but they are getting a second shipment in fall, which is right around the corner, and you can place a reservation fee for that. And then when you reserve the book, you'll also get a copy of her So Scrappy spools. So I thought I would just go through some of the items. Here's putting it all together. I love this. I've never been a real fan of the spool quilts. I'm not sure why. This one I really like because each block is different, and I think that will be so fun. The only problem is I usually do not have a lot of brown in my stash. And let me see if it gives the fabric requirements. Like, I think if I set a goal for myself to do, how many blocks are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 63 blocks. That would take me a whole year. So maybe if I tried to do 2 blocks a week on top of everything else I'm working on, that would be more reasonable. And they're small, and you can use your scraps, which is the whole theme of her book, is to use up your scraps, which I told myself last year I wasn't going to buy any new fabric until I used all my scraps. Well, that didn't happen, but I still want to use my scraps. So the spools, you need 2 yards, and she has her nutmeg, which is, I do really like her nutmeg color. So next time I place an order, I might have to get that. You need 2 yards of the brown for the spools and 1 3/4 yards for background, for scrappy background. You could use your background scraps for this as well. It uses scrappy binding. And then you do need 2 1/3 yards of 108 wide backing. She has a pretty plaid on the back. I don't know if she shows that. So that's the free pattern you get if you pre-order the book, which you can do in Fat Quarter Shop. There's a $1.50 reservation fee. And then, so I paid $1.50 when I reserved it for when it came out in July. See if it gives the total amount in the book. The book's expensive, I will say that. So it's $32.98. The pre-order price, so if you pre-order, it's $31.48 plus reservation fee. So $32.98 plus shipping. And you know, shipping is expensive. So it's a little more, I think the other books of hers I've bought were like $25. So it is a little more pricey, but that's okay because there's 32 quilts in her book. So I will show you, I can't show you the patterns, but I can show you the quilts. And I don't know if you've ever gotten one of her books, but it gets thick. I like it because it has a flap, and then this is all spiral bound, so you can lay it flat, which is really nice. And then she talks about the way she organizes her scraps. She's very organized. This is a picture of how she organizes all her scraps, and she does it by color and size. So here's a little picture of all her, look how pretty they are. My scraps aren't as pretty as that. Because when I first started quilting, I would go to Joann's and buy that fabric, and a lot of times that's not the nicest fabric, so that's what I have a lot of scraps of. So I think I might just like make scrappy little quilts and donate it to like a pet shelter or something for blankets for the pets. In Texas don't need blankets in Texas, but they can lay on them. And so she talks about her organization and how she cuts her scraps, and if you can be organized like that, it's really nice. So if you want to make a scrappy block, you can just you'll have everything already pre-cut, so that's nice. Something else that I did also start was it's probably been 2 years now. Oh gosh, 2 years? No, a year and a half ago. It was over Christmas break. I had 2 weeks off from work, which was wonderful. And so I did cut down all my scraps to what her recommended sizes were. So I have a bunch, and I try to use them. Like every once in a while, I'll just make a really scrappy block. But what I've done is I've kind of put them next to my sewing machine. And then when I finish sewing what I want to sew and I don't want to cut the thread, I'll just put these little beginner and enders on. And so I'm going to start sewing my, these are 1.5 inch squares together each time I do that. So then I'll have, instead of using scrap, I can just, I'll have these and then I'll just put them in a bin, and eventually she does have a couple quilts in here that would work really well with. So I've started to do that, and I certainly don't have enough for one of her big quilts, but like I said, it's not the nicest. I'm going to separate my nice and not so nice fabric, and then I can donate to the puppies. They don't care if it's nice or not nice fabric. So I will show you, and I just she's very vintage. I don't know if you know about Lori Holt, but she's really into vintage looking quilts, and I love that. And I wish I had time to make everything, but I do not. So the first quilt, she goes into how to cutting and talking about all her stuff and how she does all her baskets, and I will say, like, I have a lot of her products, and they're really nice products. I have her pins, I got her needles, like for embroidery, and I just started picking up cross stitch again. She has cross stitch needles, and they're really nice because I thought needles really make a difference, and her applique needles are really nice. Okay, so let me see if I can show this without the cutting instructions. So that's bumblebees. Aren't they cute? That's called Buzzy Bee Quilt. Here's what it looks like piecing it together. That's cute. And you can change it up. If you don't want that many bees, maybe, you only want a couple here and there, and then throw some other blocks in there. You can do that. They're endless what you can do. The next one is the Calico Mushroom Quilt, which is interesting. You see it? So that's cute if you're into mushrooms. And so she gives you all the instructions. She gives you all the cutting requirements. And if you have things already pre-cut, from your stash, then you can just pull from that. Here's the diagram, piecing it together. Give you a better idea. And she's starting to use a little darker colors in her backgrounds, and I did get some black. I have so many plans. I was gonna make the what's it called? Is it Jaybird? The Jaybird Night something or other. I still want to do that. I just have so many plans and so little time. the next one, and I'm using black, the reason why I talked about that, I'm rambling. I have black background for that quilt. The next quilt is Chex Mix block, uses the Chex Mix block. And this would work in what I'm doing with, let's see, there we go. You can see it that way. You know, putting one of my starters and enders. If I had my background fabric, which I don't know that I have any background white, but you could certainly zip that up. Here it is, piecing it together. That's a lot of little blocks. Let's see how many squares you need. Oh my goodness. So from the background, the little white squares, you need 1,188 1.5 inch squares. That is a lot of little blocks. But like I said, if you've got them next to your machine and you use them every time you're starting and stopping, and then the prints, you need 1,287. That's a lot of little blocks. This one I really like. This is one of my favorite blocks. The crisscross star block. I like this because you don't have to match up your corners, which is lovely. Isn't that pretty? And here's the piecing it together. I just love those stars. So they kind of just hang over each other, so you don't really have to, and the tips are short to the seam, so you don't have to worry about your points hitting the seam right on, which I'm doing a flag quilt. I'll show you that in a second. So that's really pretty. I like that. That uses bigger blocks. That might be something reasonable I could do. How many? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That one only has 20 blocks. Sorry, I'm so tired. I shouldn't be, but I am. This one's called the Fat Quarter Flirt block. This one, I don't know. I feel like there's not enough contrast in the colors. So I don't know. Yeah, I don't know about that one. Here it is, piecing it. Okay, we have the... Okay. Then we have the Happy Trails block. Which is really cute. That's cute. There's a big picture of it. That's cute. Alright, if only we had so much time. Lincoln Logs blocks, which would be good to use up all your strips. And like, I think these pictures just don't do the quilt justice, because here is the quilts in real life and they're just so much prettier than I think that picture gives them justice. It's so cute. Like, look at this picture. That's gorgeous light, right? That looks so much better than that picture. All the pretty colors and the next one's the plaid quilt. I'll just show you a picture of the quilt. Isn't that gorgeous? And her colors just go so nice together. And they're so bright and vibrant. And then we have a pumpkin. It's kind of sideways, but that's big. That's 96.5 by 88.5. I mean, I think you could trim it down if you wanted to. Sorry, I'm sleeping. Next one is Santa hat quilt. You could do, almost looks like the Carnival Cruise. The Carnival Cruise boat tail. That's another big one, 94.5 by 68. Like, they're big quilts. I think maybe I like to make smaller quilts, like the one behind me. Like, I don't usually use a quilt on my bed. Probably should make one for myself. But I think you could make these all into throws. I think that they're structured in such a way that you could trim them down. This one's a little busy. Like, I'm not sure about this one. I like the block. I think maybe I would have to mix it with some other blocks or something, because that's a little wild. Excuse me, I apologize, I'm tired. Scrappy Crossroads block. This is the one that it uses 2.5 inch squares, but that certainly would be like to use beginners and enders to make. It's cute, right? You just make a bunch of 4 patches, and then and she's got some other stuff in there. Like, here's a picture of it. It's gorgeous, right? They look so much better in quilt land than they do in book. And then Scrappy Strings quilt. And I believe this uses her sew-in, I apologize, sew-in interfacing. And I do believe that they're gonna, Fat Quarter Shop is gonna have a sew along with this one. I think I heard Kimberly Jolly from Fat Quarter Shop say that was in the works. So, and I think you need the interfacing, and I think with the delays and stuff, the shipping, we're having a hard time getting that. Oh my gosh, I'm in 20 minutes already. Sorry. And this is cute too. This is a shortcut star quilt. And I'll just show you this picture. That's pretty. It has all kinds of, almost looks like stained glass, right? That'd be another one where you could do like a couple blocks a week. It's all the same block, but just different colorways. And then piece them together. And this one, this is the one that's on the cover. The spare squares block. So this uses a 4 patch with the dark and the white to make the block. And that's what's on the cover. It's this one. And she uses scrappy background. Which, like, when you're putting a quilt together, like, I have a hard time mixing the background because I feel like it needs to be matchy. But she uses scrappy backgrounds, and it looks really cute. Then Twinkle Twinkle Scrappy Star Quilt, which is adorable. Adorable. And she gives you all the cutting requirements and how to piece it together. Next one, think outside the block, she says. Just add sashing. Some quilt blocks just need a little extra room. So this is, she's got an apple block. Apple. It's called Applesauce Quilt. It's cute. With some apples and some of the cores. Cute. And then a blossom block. So she has a blossom quilt. Blossom quilt. That's cute. I like that flower. This is one. Should do this. I think maybe. I just have so much fabric that I probably won't ever use, and I should just use it up. Okay, the checkerboard quilt. That you can make the 4 squares. The 4, what's it called? 4 patch. And she has a checkerboard star, which is cool too. That's very deceptive. Like, it looks like everything's so different, but it's just different colorways. It makes the blocks look so different. Grandma's donut block. This one's a little busy for me. See how she's using a lot of dark backgrounds. See how busy that looks on the page? But here's a picture of the actual quilt. And it looks startling, doesn't it? Just all those colors together. The granny star. Granny star. That's pretty. And she has an in-flight block. In-flight quilt, which is butterflies. So if you like butterflies, there's a bunch of butterflies for you. And a neighborhood block, the neighborhood quilt. Oops. Yeah. Cute. I've made this next block I've made. Do I have it? What did I do with it? I used to have it hanging up. It's not hanging up anymore. I made a smaller version of the flag. It's on her blog. She did a tutorial on the flag, and I used to set my computer on it, but I think it must be packed away. What I did with it. Oh, this block. So I was going to do that Jaybird quilt block, and then I saw this. And then I said, I think I need to use my black background for this. This is the tulip block. And look how cute that is. All the tulips. Isn't that cute? And it's so scrappy. Like, it's really scrappy. I think I might have to use that. This almost looks like a charcoal gray. I wonder if she gives her colors that she used. Let's see. Backing. She used green for her background, for her backing. Background. It's a dark gray. Yeah, it doesn't look quite black. Boy, that's pretty. pretty color. Might have to get some of that. I have to write that one down. Sorry, I'm rambling on. The Quick Broken Dishes block. This is another cute one. That's very traditional. There's a picture of it. She collects vintage sewing machines. And then a churn dash block, quilt. Which they're fun to make too. Be good for you to use up your strips. And then a 64 block. So this is very beginner friendly. You just piece blocks together. I mean, that would be perfect use of this would be, maybe I'll make this for the doggies. This is 64 by 64 though. I would have to cut that. I can do that. But that's cute. I like that backing too. I really like she's using colored backing. So I think I like this color too. It's called Daisy. Just don't have enough time or money for everything I want. And then spring basket block. This is cute. It's cute. And then a Tall Pines block. She is having a sew along. I think it's supposed to start in November. And it's called Plaid Pines. I did get the kit for that. So check that out on Fat Quarter Shop. That uses her bee plaids line, which I love plaids, so I had to get it. So that'd be pretty for Christmas, huh? And I believe that, oh no, one more. And then we have a sewing machine quilt, which is adorable. Adorbs. Oh, and then she gives some other tips about binding, how to make scrappy binding, which is good because I've never done that. And then, I need this, a quilt backing reference chart. So like she gives quilt approximate sizes and then how much yardage you need for backing. Because I need to get some backing for my quilt I'm making. And I'll show you what I have done. It's gonna be 60 by 70 something. But I think I only need 4 yards. It says 5.5. But then she gives, she has a picture of all the backing she used. And that's cute, so you know for which quilt she used what backing. I really like that. And then she has tips on fat quarter cutting, how to get the most, like if you need a bunch of 2-inch squares, 2.5-inch squares, 3, she tells you how to cut it so you get the most use and the least amount of waste. That is awesome. Oh my gosh, how many squares can I get it from a width of fabric? How many strips can I get from a yard of fabric? That's very helpful. Fast flying geese size chart, half square triangle size chart, a lot of useful. So if you're a beginner, this stuff is very helpful. Quarter square triangle, square and square. That's really helpful. Use it up, wear it out, make it do, or do without. From Lori's grandparents. So that's her book. Just thought I would share it quick. You know, I want to make, and you got a free pattern if you pre-ordered. It is sold out right now, but they're getting a second shipment that's coming in the fall. So you can go to Fat Quarter Shop and pay a reservation fee for the next batch that comes in. It is 32, I think there's 32 quilts. That's a lot of patterns. Keep you busy for a little bit. 32 scrappy quilts. And then so 33 because you get the spool one. It's 197 pages, spiral bound. Expected ship date is early fall. So that's all I got for today. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you soon. Hope you get to sew too. Bye.